the Juryo division with Sumo Mainichi. My name's Amy. I'm here with Dave. We're in Melbourne, Australia. And it's almost time for the best division of all. It's Senshiraku. It's day 15. It's the end of the basho, but there's so much exciting sumo yet to come.
I've been very, very good. I've been hanging out for some Juryo. Cannot wait to get into the bouts for today. The Yusho for Juryo very much in the balance as we come into day 15. Midorifuji seems to be in the driver's seat, but there are a few Rikishi nipping at his heels.
And those Rikishi are not necessarily the ones we thought they might be. We thought Wakatakakage would be up there. We thought Hakuoho would be up there. And if you've been watching the at least the first week of the Juryo division, we thought Asakoryu would be up there, but none of those three names are in the Juryo Yusho race today. Instead, we have Midorifuji out by 1 on 11 wins, and then on 10. So if he wins today, it's all over. He is the third bout of the three that are in contention. The other two are Oshimoumi on 10 wins and Daishoho on 10 wins as well. So both of those come up before the Midorifuji bout, and they have to win to keep themselves in it. And then if Midorifuji loses, we'll have a three-way playoff, and there'll be some straws being drawn, which is our favourite thing to see.
Nothing like them having to grasp for the rule book and try to work out what is going on in those playoffs. As we see, what do we got here? The second last Makushita bout. Waka Ikari up against Kiryuko. Both Rikishi coming in on 4 and 2. Successful campaigns, you'd have to say, for these two in Makushita.
Yep, they have both gone well. Daishoho certainly wouldn't be back in Juryo. Kotoeko either, but they've done really well. They'll be up the top of Makushita next time around. Kotoeko with the win today.
Welcome to the chat, Zero. Hello. Great to have you here. Dr. Quack, hello. Welcome. And Mawashi Guru.
Yes. How are you?
Thanks
Lovely
for hanging
have you
out.
In the chat, lovely to see you. We've been chatting quite a bit over the basho about all of the goings on. Quite a few of us have been in the Sumo Mainichi DMs on Instagram having a chat. There's been so much. We've just heard news. It's literally just broken that Takeru Fuji is going to fight today, that his stable master Isagahama is going to, in inverted commas, make arrangements for him to fight. Now, I don't know what that involves.
I think you do, but you don't want to say the word horse next to the word tranquilizer.
Yeah.
I think whatever they need to inject into this kid to get him up on the doyo today, I'm going to turn a blind eye to it because he's put in the work over the last 14 days. He deserves to go out there, throw his body one more time, trying to grasp that Yusho.
Hey, Dee from Stockholm. Always love to see Swedish people in there. Did you know I lived there for 2 years? I've only said it about 1 million times.
Say hello in Swedish.
Oh. Well, why is it now just totally gone out of my mind? Why would you ask me that?
Well, then say I like strawberries.
I can say jag älskar dig, which is I love you.
Ah.
And I'm saying that to Ten-shoho, who's sitting side of stage here.
Well, some huge news for you that we just noticed that Ten-shoho is one of our two Makushita visitors in Juryo today.
Yes, he's coming up against Kaharima. He's 2 and 5 already, so nothing like a bout that doesn't matter that he'll probably win.
Well, exactly, right, because it doesn't matter. Does that win go on to his permanent record? I don't think it does.
I don't think so. Because then it'd just offset everything and you'd be one out. It'd be weird. But here we do have an important bout. Nabatame from Makushita 5. He's gone very well and he is right on the edge of cracking it into Juryo, but I think he's just going to miss out this time around, especially if this man, Chiyosakaya, wins. He's on 7 and 7, Nana Sho, Nana High. That means he gets straight to the front of the line in the Sumo Mainichi bar tonight. We've had a few more names being added to the list and a whole list of ideas for the bar by Dr. Ben Marshman that we'll get into later on the podcast.
Have we said welcome and hello to Kelly, Scott and Annie joining us from Osaka, watching it at home when they could and should be watching it from a bar.
Yes.
That we will be opening sometime soon.
The Tachi-ai was actually one of the other suggestions, which is a great one. Meet me at the Tachi-ai. K-Bunny Nabatame, he is a bit of a legend.
D is giving you some Swedish reminders.
Is it hey?
Hey.
Is it hey? I didn't even say it.
You can say hey or you can say sup.
Or tjena.
Sup.
I've just remembered. Tjena. That's like g'day.
All right, well, it looks like we're ready to go in our first
Sup.
Juryo bout. Nabatame, Makushita Visitor, up against Chiyosakaya. Chiyosakaya on 7-7. At Juryo 14, so much riding on this bout for him. Chiyosakaya breaks forward, but Nabatame's defending well with those thrusts. Chiyosakaya's got his head up, but he's have to give room here. Nabatame falls as he tries to take Chiyosakaya out. Confident Gunbai point by the Gyorji. The boys in black around the side are happy with that. That win is upheld. Kachakoshi for Chiyosakaya.
Yeah, it's a very ungainly way to stay in Juryo, but he's managed it. At Juryo 14, that is the definition of a scraped together
Oh, God, I tell you what.
stay. He was taken back by Nabatame, even though he was fierce with the thrusts. His thrusts were good, and he was just able to push him down at the edge.
Looking at that replay, it actually was a lot easier for Chiyosakaya than that full speed live version looked. His head was even watching Nabatame come in.
Yep.
And was that a slap down? I believe it might have been a slap down.
I think so. Tsukiyotoshi, perhaps. But here's the great man. The great man Ten-shoho. Now, just a little blip in his career here at Makushita 1.
Now, they keep showing this particular sumo fan who seems to have a book full of names. Is this cool?
Oh, just to have all of them, you mean?
To have all of them.
I think you've got to pick some. Like, I have a fat stack of towels that I bring out, but I try to be discerning on the day. Like, I try to have about 5 that I'll commit to on the day. And then I've got, you know, my short eye and my, when they release it, my Ten-shoho. Be first in line for that one. I think you've got to make some choices. I don't think you can just flip through a whole art book.
Yeah, exactly. You have to make some choices. So, Ten-shoho's opponent today is Kaharima at Juryo 14. He was with us for a short time. He will be exiting from Juryo back to Makushita with this score. But for the 37-year-old, what an absolute thrill for him, finding his way back into Juryo in March. The last time he was there was September 2020. He went 5-10 back then, so he is right on the cusp of doing just as well this time, if he can get through Ten-shoho. But as you said, Ten-shoho not having the easiest of time.
No. Look at that face, though. He's ready for a win today. He's ready for a no consequences win. I think he should go all out. We don't know the future of Ten-shoho and his fate after this basho, and the fate of Hakuoho, and the fate of so many other rikishi at Miyagino-beya. There was a flurry of activity at the start of the basho. They were going to move them here. They were going to move them there. They were going to be under a caretaker oyakata. And then some news came out that they would just stop all of that and just see what happened at the end of the
Nothing
basho.
like a bit of wait and see.
Yeah, nothing like absolutely not knowing what's going on with your future for the whole 15 days and then being able to, having to face up to Kaharima on day 15 like a champion. Here he goes. Look at him wanting this win. He is down and he goes forward. He's pushing Kaharima backwards, but Kaharima with the flailing arms, he gets down to the back of the Tahara. Ten-shoho really wants this win, and he's got Kaharima staggering, and he pushes him down, tries to help him up. That's the heart on this guy, and he did get the inconsequential win.
Well, Kaharima finishes this basho in the way that he has represented himself every day. Full of enthusiasm, full of passion for sumo, but in the end, just can't keep a lid on that passion. As we see Ten-shoho resisting these attacks well here. They were both dishing out the thrusting attacks, but you can see there with the hand on the throat of Kaharima, Haruima then came forward out of control. Ten-shoho steps aside. It does feel a bit unfair that Ten-shoho isn't recognised for his work today.
I think so. And look, I was focusing on him, but obviously a big moment for Haruima. He finally made his way back to Juryo after many, many years. And I think you could read it on his face at the end there. Just the recognition that maybe this was it. I don't know, he might get straight back up, but maybe with his age and form, he's not going to. And that was his one last taste of the salaried ranks. And I think he was feeling something then. He's known for being all about sumo and has been for his entire life. And so it's a moment.
It's very good for his confidence too. Getting a win on day 15 in front of
Ten-shoho.
Ten-shoho,
yes.
Absolutely.
Yes. Flip back to the great man. I've got to stop calling him the great man.
Well,
it doesn't really work.
I think you can call him the great man.
Call him whatever I want.
Up next, we have Akua up against our third Makushita visitor, Tsukahara. Now, my question to everyone is this enough Makushita visitors? I say no.
I know we said 2 before, and that's before I saw Tsukahara sneak his way up here.
How we can only have 3 is beyond me. We need more.
Make Juryo go all day.
Yes.
Kick Makuchi into the night, well into the night, so we can, keep celebrating.
On your screen at the moment, Tsukahara, he's at Makushita 4 on 4 and 2. That's a very, very impressive score from this 24-year-old from Saitama in Japan. Made his debut in car park sumo back in 2017. So he's seen some things and gone straight from there into a Jonakuchi, then Jonidan Yusho.
Yep, has done well.
Has been as high as Makushita 1 in March of last year. So he's been approaching the door. Today I think he steps onto the doormat, but just won't be knocking today, even if he wins with a 5-2.
He's unlucky here because, exactly right. He is almost there yet again, but it looks more like the Makushita Yusho winner, Kazakeno, who went 7-0 from Makushita 13, will sneak in. And the great news is Chiyomaru, Mr. Sumo, he's not making way for the young people yet. He's gone 4-3 at Makushita 1.
Looks like they're ready to go. Akua, the Clown Prince at Juryo 13, 6-8. A win here is crucial for him to guarantee his stay in Juryo. I don't want to think about a Juryo without Akua.
Oh, no, thank you. Nobody needs that.
Gunbai is pointed forward. We are ready for some sumo. Akua, big break there and sends Tsukahara off the doyo.
Who's he looking at there, Akua? Who's he giving the stare down to?
I think just the people in the front row. Really sends a message, Akua, with that, doesn't he? Get off. This is mine. Looks like Akua woke up today. He's going to choose violence.
I think so.
Tsukahara absolutely rocked. Here comes Akua again, but Tsukahara throws out some great attacks on Akua's throat, pulls forward. Beautifully executed sumo from Tsukahara today.
Well, I have to say that's Akua going down. I think he might have freed up space for possibly even Tsukahara himself, or maybe Kaio. There's a few in the wings. That would be interesting if it was a straight swap, but Akua going 6-9 at Juryo 13. That's awful news.
Thanks,
for him at
Tsukahara.
least.
Akua, of course, today, since day 1, has been not doing his full salt throw. Now, I suspected this was because of paying respect to Terutsuyoshi, but it feels like it's absolutely stripped him of his power. And I wonder about whether this was the right move for Akua.
Well, could he be the first man to do it in Makushita? Maybe he'll just start doing it again. It feels like something that Akua might do.
Certainly does.
And I was going to say an important bout here. It is, but not for the Juryo Yusho race. But Wakatakakage, 9-5 coming into this against Shishi, who's on Nanasho Nanahai, looking for that extra win to get his Kachikoshi at Juryo 8. Now, I'll ask you the question. What happened to Wakatakakage here?
That's right. From day 8 through to day 13 went 1 win, 5 losses. He did break that loss run yesterday with a win over Tomokaze, but even then, we watched that one. You wouldn't say that was comprehensive against Tomokaze, a Rikishi who continues to struggle with injury.
We wondered whether the knee was a problem again.
I mean, it's the most obvious explanation, isn't it? That while he did take a few basho off Wakatakakage to get that knee right, it did feel like he was coming in slightly undercooked.
Yeah.
And maybe that knee's been aggravated again. You can see it's heavily strapped on the right-hand side. Bit of a mix of banners in the audience. Both of these Rikishi incredibly popular. Shishi, 27 years old. I thought he had a good week 1, Shishi. I mean, he was 4-2 after the first 6 days, and over the last 2 days has lost to Midorifuji and Tamasho.
Wakatakakage's losses, some of them were to Daishoho, in form, Yusho contender. Midorifuji the same, Asakoryu was, and Oshimoumi is. So those 4 losses you can possibly understand. I mean, this is ex-Sekiwake Wakatakakage, but still, he's coming back from injury. But the one to Chiyosakaya, the Tsukiotoshi win, looked like he was really on the back foot and just got slapped down there, thrust down there.
Big welcome to the chat, Sumo Punks. So great to have you with us today. Hope everything is good on your side of planet Earth. As we take I feel like an extended preparation for this bout.
I think they're letting this one play out, seeing whether there's any shenanigans to start off with, any stare-offs.
I wonder whether Wakatakakage may have trouble containing this Shishi aggression out of the Tachiai. We know Shishi goes very, very hard, and he can follow up on the belt with the body if he needs to. And
if he's twisting Wakatakakage around a lot, that's bad on the knee. Yep. I mean, Shishi doesn't really care which angle he's coming from. He does whatever he needs to try to get an advantage. Hauls his opponent round. And it is time to see what the large Shishi can do against the much smaller, heavily strapped Wakatakakage. With his fans sitting very close in there on the left-hand side of our screen. Shishi leaping out. He is just so much bigger here, but it's Wakatakakage who gets a good hold around his body, goes for the pull down. It doesn't work. Shishi tries to come at him. They throw each other, and somehow Wakatakakage stays up, but he can't stop himself being thrown off the doyo.
Oh,
goodness.
A missed opportunity for Wakatakakage in that bout. Shishi showed incredible mobility and stability to keep himself in this one. Can't wait to see this replay. What a miserable way for Wakatakakage, who still finishes on 9-6. But for Shishi, congratulations. Kachikoshi, great basho for him. As we see Shishi able to get in close, get on the body. Now here with the back of his hand, Wakatakakage nearly puts Shishi down. But even as they go towards the bales, Shishi manages a reversal via an arm throw. I mean, Wakatakakage.
Yeah.
He just got outplayed today.
I think so. I can see why that pull down didn't work. Shishi, much bigger. He's got his hand outstretched right to the top of his head to try and pull him down. It's not the ideal lever position for maximum torque. And it didn't work. It didn't pull the big guy down. And then he got himself just a bit tangled up. A real shame there for Wakatakakage. At least he got that Kachikoshi. He'll be moving up a little bit. And maybe we need to apply the same thing that we do to Junior Rikishi coming up. Maybe he just needs a bit more time in Juryo.
Oh, absolutely. No doubt about that. The next bout we have in Juryo today is Juryo 7, Hidenoumi up against Juryo 12, Kotoeko. This is a tough one to watch. Kotoeko, Juryo 12. 1 win, 13 losses. His only win coming against Tsushimanada on day 3. And look, Kotoeko is carrying an injury.
Yeah. You could see he could hardly squat down on the side then. He just can't get his legs down like that at the moment.
Oh, he cannot. And he's just been handing out the white dots. I wonder the sense in staying in this basho, not going Kyujo for Kotoeko. It's not one of those injuries where you might be able to jag a win.
No, it doesn't seem like it. It's one of those ones where you give up as soon as any pressure is applied and you're forced to step backwards and you're hoping that your opponent is not going to trip you or throw you off, that they're going to be kind to you. And I hope that Hidenoumi is today. But you're right. Maybe he's seeing it out because he's going to retire. I don't know. He might want just these last days up on the doyo.
I wonder. Kotoeko, he doesn't feel quite old enough to be thinking about retirement yet. He's 32 years old. Turning 33 in November. He's got a lot of good sumo ahead of him.
And these ladies, big fans. You could hear her call out. I do want to say at the end of the last bout, Wakatakakage, Shishi, there was screaming. There were women screaming at the top of their voices. Did you hear that?
For Shishi?
Just for the
sumo.
end. Yeah, for sumo. It just went into this really harsh, like Beatles screaming frequency all of a sudden.
Yeah, Kenneth just said maybe he's going in Thai and wants to complete the basho. We spoke about that off mic over the
I just said it
days.
as well.
Well, on mic, yeah. I wonder. Well, let's take this time. Let's drink it in. Let's say thank you to Kotoeko.
Oh, if I find out he's gone in Thai, I will actually cry. I will shed a tear.
Yeah.
Because look at this man's face. We've seen him do so much fantastic.
Okay, they come forward. Hidenoumi under the arms of Kotoeko. Kotoeko right hand on the belt, putting up some resistance. Works Hidenoumi back, but an easy throw for Hidenoumi. Again, puts pressure on the knee, and Kotoeko cannot resist.
Let's look deep into his eyes here. No, he's turning away.
Oh, resignation.
Are these his final steps? I don't want to be too dramatic, but the camera just cut away from him, so they don't care.
Abema, there we go. The directors got on the phone and said, get that camera back on Kotoeko. They've taken it back to Hidenoumi as we take a replay here.
Kotoeko, he can still do the touchy eye, and this time he actually did push forward. This is much better than we've seen from him in previous days. That throw was easy from Hidenoumi, but still much more aggression from Kotoeko. And I can't help reading everything into this last bout now, that he just wondered whether he could get that last win on day 15 and then...
Say goodbye with a white dot.
I don't know. I do not know.
All right.
Hopefully we'll see him again.
The next bout of the day, we have Hakuoho up against Chiyoshoma. Hakuoho already has his Kachikoshi. He's 8-6, but at Juryo 13, I think a lot of people were expecting him to do a lot better from that rank. Of course, returning from that shoulder injury that saw him sit out 2 basho.
Yeah, Oshimoumi was the first to beat him, and everyone was shocked, including myself. A Yorikiri win. Nothing too tricky, really. Just that Hakuoho wasn't able to find a position to push back. Oshimoumi pretty strong.
And in good form.
In good form, yep.
Well, I think he's 6'8" from memory, but
it's not what we're expecting to see, though.
No. Now, Chiyoshoma. He has gone 14 days without a henka.
Yes.
He's coming into this one. He's on 8-6.
Yep.
It would be the funniest thing to do. But what would a henka do to the henka competition?
Well, I can tell everyone now that nobody chose day 15, or actually day 14, as a henka option. And so what this means is that if he does not henka today, the winner is one Hakioi Sumo, who chose, as he always does, no henka.
He optimistically. No henka.
He does love to choose no henka.
Well, a stopped clock is right twice a day, as they say. Hakuoho, tape free, from what I can see there. Very, very good to see.
Yeah, no shoulder tape, but I did wonder if the injury was plaguing him a bit. But it might be the mental state from the whole
Oh,
schmozzle,
yep.
the shenanigans, him and Ten-shoho. He started off so well with the 3 wins. I thought, oh, well, he's not affected. He's going to retain his excellent form, but he hasn't been able to. The Yobidashi looks like Shohei Otani. Where?
Oh, and we've got Hakuoe Sumo in the chat.
He's here. Yeah. But if he hankers here, we're in a grey rule area, I think. The day
Jackpot.
15 be a day 15 hanker.
Oh.
Ooh.
He didn't do it.
He did not. Hakuo, you win. Chiyoshoma has a left hand on the belt of Hakuoho. He's trying to throw him and stop himself being thrown at the same time, but he deposits Hakuoho over the Tawara instead. Good, strong forward motion sumo from Chiyoshoma. That is 15 days without a hanker. I know that's not who we possibly should be going for here, but Chiyoshoma, well done. Well done. And you've gifted a beautiful Takakesho Tagata to Hakuoe Sumo,
who has proclaimed in the chat Yusho. The thing, I mean, we run a hanker competition for Chiyoshoma, but this isn't to take away the respect that this podcast has for Chiyoshoma's sumo. And when he's on the belt, as we saw today, very, very dangerous.
Yes, and Hakuoho just lost possibly just some body conditioning. It could have been with everything in the lead up that he wasn't able to train as much, and maybe just overall the body isn't as strong, and he's going to be able to come back there with or without some training from his mentor and master, Hakuoho. So, yeah, we were all really interested to see what would happen this time around, and now we have to push that curiosity until May.
The next bout that we have is Hakuyozan at Juryo 6 on the left of your screen and Tamasho at Juryo 9 on the right of your screen. Hakuyozan, a basho he would much rather forget. 3 and 11 coming into day 15. Tamasho, 6 and 8.
Scraped that together, hasn't he?
Scrape that together. Look, it's a big improvement from his 4-11 back in January.
Yeah. First week, terrible. Only 2 wins. But this second week, he's taken a few off Kaharima. Fair enough. Takakuru at Juryo 2. Kotoeko.
Well, he beat Shishi yesterday, so that
Yes.
was a good win, but
Slapped Shishi down.
definitely a test for him today. Well, Hakuyozan, maybe not.
Hello. I need to clean that up. I just kicked over the sake bottle and saw on the screen. 1 second.
We're bringing you sumo live, spilling drinks live. This is the way we roll here. Big welcome to the chat, Graham. You're joining us. We've had about 6 bouts so far. We're up to our 7th, and we've got plenty of sumo left to bring you. Tamasho on your screen at the moment. I reckon a 7 and 8 would be an excellent result for him. Hakuyozan looking for that 4th. The gunbai is pointed forward. Tamasho out, but big thrusting attacks from Hakuyozan. Tamasho left hand on the belt, but Hakuyozan defends well. Tamasho's working him towards the Tawara, but Hakuyozan standing strong here. Tamasho throwing everything, but he's ducked his head down. And Hakuyozan slaps him down to the dirt. You could see the disappointment on Tamasho's face, the pain. Just his legs giving up on him a little bit there. How'd you go with the sake? Ooh, gee, a fair bit
Pretty
of that.
good. It just went for the power board. It was heading for the power board that powers this whole thing.
Yeah.
Graham, I was so excited to see you in the chat. I was so happy to have our sumo crew here with us today for Juryo on day 15. I was so happy to possibly see a Tamasho win. which I did not.
Well, luckily,
I kicked over the sake.
I think I would have much rather been cleaning up sake than watch Tamasho
lose to Hakuosa.
Yeah, and just see the pain on his face.
Poor old tasty towel indeed.
Well, this next bout, a very, very exciting one. No, well, it is. It's Shiden up. Oh, no, I've got it wrong.
No, it's Bushozan up against Asakoryu. It is an exciting one. Nothing at play here. The first time that these two have fought. Bushozan coming into this with his Kachikoshi, which I know Hakio Sumo will be happy about. He's a big Bushozan fan, as am I. We've been let down a little bit by the round boy.
Yeah, back in January at Maegashira 15, Bushozan just looked lost out there. Looking a bit more comfortable back at Juryo 5 this time. This is where he likes to be. And has looked, I've seen some nice texture to his sumo over the last 2 weeks.
Yep, he's been doing some good stuff. On the other side, the east side, we have Asakoryu, the man with the luxuriant and large head of hair that forms this artwork of a chonmage we see in front of us. Also artwork for a piece of beautiful art for the first week. It included one Fusen win when Shirakuma came out, but the second week is plagued with black dots. Lost to Mitoryu, Hakuoho, Tomokaze, Oshima. And he took himself out of the Juryo race. He was very much in it. He was out the front for the whole time. Wakatakakage stopped winning. And he had it set.
Let's keep it in perspective. This is Asakoryu's fourth Juryo basho.
Sure.
He is at his highest rank of Juryo 8. A 9-5 is a pretty good effort. Even though the wheels have fallen off his campaign somewhat in the second week, has still showed very positive sumo each day, but you start to see his weaknesses against the larger rikishi, such as Kagayaki and Mitoryu. He's a smart boy, though.
He sure is, and he'd love one more here today against Bushozan. He springs forward and takes Bushozan a couple of steps back, but Bushozan stems the flow. He's got the right hand inside there. Asakoryu tries to pull him back and throw him, and he does. I thought he stepped out before he got Bushozan down. Is this going to be a mono?
No, I think they've given it to Asakoryu. Sit down. It was fine.
Well, I called it the other way, so I think get up, boys. Get up. And they are up, so I win.
Yeah, a good bout there. Asakoryu showing some very wily sumo on the Tahara. As we take this replay, here we see the arm lock throw from Asakoryu. You can see Bushozan going for the leg. Ooh, he stepped out first. I was wrong. Torinaoshi. It's too close to call.
Bushozan actually helpfully trying to pull his leg up there so it didn't touch the ground.
A bit more hang time.
But he didn't manage to do it, and I think this will be a reversal. It must be here because a fairly quick step out. Asakoryu here talking to the kid there.
And the kid's saying, if that's not a Torinaoshi, I'd be surprised.
He's like, you'll be right, mate. He's
right.
like, yeah, I will be. But he won't be because we can see that foot time. Little divot. So it looks like this is a day 15 loss.
行事の軍配は朝交流に上がりましたが、両者体が落ちるのが同時ではないかと物言いがつき、協議した結果、朝交流のつま先が先に出ており、行事軍配差し違いで武将山の勝ちとなります。
Reversal given to Bushozan. So both of these rikishi finish on 9 and 6.
And that's 6 out of 7 losses for Asakoryu over his last 7 days. The one win, Wakatakakage, why not? Beautiful Kotonage. Sumo is a fickle beast.
All right, we see the full replay now here. Bushozan establishing that right-hand belt grip early. Really did put him in the driver's seat as Asakoryu threw him down. Maintain that right hand on the belt.
I think the wideness of Bushozan might have blocked that step out there. He obscured the view with his body, but the Shimpan closest to that side definitely saw it, and the Monoi confirmed it. Bushozan 9 and 6.
With the Watashi Komi. kimarete there.
Remind me about that one.
It is the thigh-grabbing pushdown.
Oh, yeah.
I wonder when the last time that was done.
It's funny when
Yesterday
you see...
in Sundam.
Yeah,
probably.
When you see the reversal of the kimarete. So I was thinking so much about Asakoryu's kimarete there that I didn't even consider what Bushozan's would have been. So that's an interesting one.
Really kept his head as he was heading doyo-wards there. All right, the next bout that we have, Tsushimanada up against Oshima. This is a very important bout for Oshima. 10-4. Needs this win to stay with Mitoryu. Still, a Mitoryu win will hand Mitoryu the Yusho, but Oshima, he would desperately want to keep himself in this. Great bit of programming. He's up against Tsushimanada today on 7-7, so both Rikishi with a lot to fight for. Tsushimanada, he's back in Juryo this time around at Juryo 12. Would like just to see a little bump come May in the Banzuke.
Yeah, if he goes Makokoshi, he will stay in at Juryo 12, but he's a pretty difficult opponent for Oshima here today. He matches him in height and size. He's not easy to move, but he's also quick. So it's not an easy win for Oshima here. And certainly, I wouldn't mind seeing a Tsushimanada Kachikoshi come off here today.
Because of reasons, I would definitely like to see him beat Oshima today. Tsushimanada was last with us in Juryo in July of last year. In his 5th bout in Juryo, it all got a bit much for him, and he went 3-12 at Juryo 11. Has taken his time. He's been hanging around at the top of the Makushita ranks, but only popped his head up with that 5-2 result at Makushita 2. He's with us now. It's good to see him back, fighting the full 15 days.
And a win here for Oshima would all but cement his ascendance to Makuuchi, where we'd see him for quite a while, I imagine, which is just great news for all of us. Woohoo! Oshima. He is at Juryo 4. 10-4. I think he'll probably go up anyway. It looks like he will take the place of a few who'll drop out of Makuuchi, and they are ready to go. Abema not helping out with the camera angle.
I don't like this camera angle, but Oshima gets on the back of the belt, spins Tsushimanada around and sends him to the dirt.
Well, steel yourself, everyone. He's going up.
Oh, God.
Maybe with a Juryo Yusho.
Don't say it. Mitoryu, let's go.
Let's go, Mitoryu. So Oshima came into Sumo in 2021 in November at Makushita 15, and he's been in Juryo for quite a while. He previously got up to Juryo 3, wasn't able to capitulate there, and looks like this time around he has managed it.
I'm extremely disappointed about that result.
Poor old Tsushimanada. That's his Makokoshi. And as we said before, he won't drop out of Juryo, so that's excellent news for him. It's always worth pushing yourself up to that Juryo 12, Juryo 11 rank if you can from Makushita, so you've got a little bit of a buffer.
Those positions between Juryo 10 and Juryo 14, you need that buffer.
Yes, you definitely do. We will see him again, and so we come to the next bout of Kagayaki, still trying to find his way back to Makuuchi, where he's been for been for a big chunk of time at least, but this won't be the time. He's 6-8 coming into this, up against Shimanoumi, who also will not find a return. 5-9 coming into today.
Kagayaki made his Makuuchi debut in January 2016. Has found himself as high as Maegashira 3 in November 2020, but as you said, has been a Makuuchi's mainstay in those lower positions, which has resulted in Kagayaki dipping down and sampling the wares of Juryo on occasion, but normally finds his way back up. On your screen at the moment, look at the swagger on this guy, Mitoryu, the loneliest man in sumo, walks into the stadium. The crowd are going wild. This man feeding off their energy. This is your Yusho to take, son. Look at the aura on this man.
He will do it. I feel it today from that walk-in.
Look at the 3-day growth.
I just wish they had some music,
Oh, I know.
wrestling style for
Yeah.
Midori's walk-in there. I need someone to take that footage and overlay some music.
Or at least that Rikishi could wear sunglasses
Yeah.
when they walk down because
Or shoes.
shoes.
Good pair of kicks for Midori. Give him a bit of bounce. Extra swag for Midori there. We call him the loneliest man in sumo because his stable, Nishikido, he is the only Rikishi in that stable.
Yeah.
Not just Sekitori. I'm probably wrong now. They've probably got someone else. But I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure for a long while he was the only guy.
Well, Shimanoumi, as with Kagayaki, both of these Rikishi coming in with Makakoshi, their losing record. Shimanoumi at Juryo 9, 5-9. I think he'd love to leave us today on 6-9. 5-10 is so unbecoming
Yep.
for a man in Shimanoumi that will take on sumo responsibilities in the
Yes.
future. He will be responsible for bringing a cross-section of the next generation of Rikishi.
And I do think he's one of the guys who, when he takes on Oyakata duties, is going to look cool. I think him in a suit, I think he's going to have
I
good
agree. I agree.
fashion. Good colour sense. Some good shirts. But today, it's day 15 of Haru Basho. Can he get a win against Kagayaki? He is down early, down first, and he comes out low. Kagayaki with the robot arms. This is old school Kagayaki. That was mid to low Maegashira ranked good old school Kagayaki sumo. Well done, mate. A good final win for you on day 15.
Yeah. So Kagayaki finishes on 7 and 8 at Juryo 4, so we'll only see probably a bump down to Juryo 5 come May. As we take the replay here, as you said, just the arms perpendicular to the body, pumping away from Kagayaki. That's old school. That's classic Kagayaki. And he picks up the win today.
That's nice to get that right angle happening again. The hands, the fingers close together.
Yeah. It's a good look for him.
It's really good. He's strong.
Okay. Up next, another bout that is going to be crucial in this Yusho race. We have Juryo 7 Daishoho on the left of your screen. Coming in at 10 and 4, here's another Rikishi, like Oshima, who needs to win today to put the pressure onto Midoriyu. His opponent today, Tomokaze, the people's champion,
Yep.
the king of the kids, the man who does so much work in the community. At Juryo 3 is 8 and 6 coming into today.
Yes.
This is a brilliant result.
To have Tomokaze have his Kachikoshi here lets us all just enjoy this day. We can all relax. We're all thrilled. There is no possibility of him going Makakoshi here. We don't have to have a 7-7 bout with Tomokaze involved.
My
We
heart,
don't need it.
my heart could not take it. Now, Tomokaze has beaten some quality Rikishi in his way to this Kachikoshi. Kagayaki, Bushozan, well, I won't say Tohakuryu, perhaps. But he's also beaten Chiyoshoma and Asakoryu on day 12 and 13. He is a very cerebral Rikishi, while the body often can't keep up with the fresh ideas his brain is serving. He knows what to do when he gets out there. Very strategic Rikishi.
And he's supporting the others in his Heia as well. So also having success. Shirokuma, we just saw Tsukahara before doing well. Obviously the stable is... Oh, and of course, Ono Sato. So all of them really, obviously a good feeling in the Heia at the moment. Enjoying success and motivating each other. Oh, that just reminded me about tonight. What
Well,
the heck?
Onosato, he certainly popped his head up in this Yusho race, being very, very consistent this time around. As we take a shot of the coolest man in sumo, Midorifuji, we'll talk briefly about Daishoho, 29 years old. His highest rank of Maegashira 9 today comes in at 10-4. After dropping the first 2 days to Asakoryu and Shishi, then went on a tear. 9 wins in a row. Did drop 2 over the last 3 days to Oshimoumi and Toki Hayate. But steadied the ship yesterday with a win over Takarafuji.
Takarafuji. Hard to say that these days. Very confusing. And Sofiko, we have you in from Tbilisi in Georgia.
Wow,
that's
welcome.
cool. Hello. How are you?
Thanks for hanging out.
Thanks for being with us for Juryo. A fine, fine, excellent, fun division.
Okay, the gunbai is pointed forward. Tomokaze, what's going through his mind right now? He's got a win condition. He's thought about it. Daishoho comes forward. Tomokaze instantly back and pulls down.
He's done it.
He's done it.
He had the win condition and
He knew what to do. A strategic retreat from Tomokaze.
he ticked that box.
Look, there's other Rikishi who I'd say, stop moving backwards at the Tachi-ai. But for Tomokaze, this is so considered. It's so strategic.
Yeah, look, if it's the way you win, it's the way you win.
He's playing to his strengths, which is by covering up his weaknesses.
Yep.
Cannot push forward, cannot generate power forward. Hey, there's one way to go, mate, and that's backwards.
We can all take a lesson from this. You do what you need to survive. You do what you need to win. And Tomokaze, that's 9 wins.
9-6.
9 wins.
He's
for
going
you.
to Juryo 1, baby.
Congratulations. This is a sign for things later to come for Nishona
Okay.
Sekibaya.
Okay.
Onosato in his bout tonight against Hoshoryu. We called it correctly in our podcast last night. That Onosato would face Hoshoryu and Takarafuji would face Gonoyama.
It's very rare that as a podcast we get these things right.
I know. Actually, I said Gonoyama or Kirishima, so that's
that's true.
correct,
That's true.
isn't it?
It's mostly correct.
Well, this is for the Juryo Yusho, and this is Aoyama up against Midorifuji. And I did see Kenneth say that there's 2 Jonakuchi Rikishi in Midoriyu's
No, Jonakuchi.
stable now. So that's awesome news.
He's got some mates.
Got little mates.
Well,
Warms my heart.
we talk about programming.
Yes.
We talk about picking an opponent. And in Juryo, I don't think they would have many options left by the end. With only 28 Rikishi in the division. But I can't think of a better opponent today for Midorifuji. To pick up the Yusho, he has to go through Aoyama, a man who's seen so much sumo.
Yes.
Who's coming in on 7-7 at Juryo 11. Who has a better record against Midorifuji in 3-1.
And who's beaten him every time in the Makuuchi division that they've faced each other. No, I lie. There was one time in March last year that Midorifuji beat him.
I can't believe you forgot that.
He's
What a day.
that's the only tape he's been replaying.
I talk about that all the
You
time.
do. Remember that day?
Yeah. Are you listening to me?
Aoyama. I'm like, yeah. I want to show you again. Here it is, shoving the phone in my face.
Well, it's great to see a lot of Midorifuji towels in the stadium today. A lot of love for this man, who someone has proclaimed a little earlier in chat as King Midorifuji.
Yes.
I like this.
My liege.
I don't get the reference, but I love it.
Well, he's just a king. He's just a king of sumo. But surely, if Midorifuji is a king of sumo, then Aoyama is as well. He is imposing. You're faced with him.
Yeah.
You don't know whether he's going to be push Aoyama or pull Aoyama today.
Or a bit of both.
Or both.
The push, then the pull.
Maybe he'll henka. Who knows? How
Henka.
disruptive is Aoyama feeling today? it's crucial for him. He's 7-7. He wants that Kachikoshi. He is not a man who will give up a win easily. At Juryo 11, he hates being down there. And here we go. He goes in low, Aoyama. He gets the right arm around Midorifuji, but Midorifuji thrusts his arms away, grabs him by the elbows, lands a push on the chest. And that is a Juryo Yusho for one Midorifuji, and I love it just like that, old lady.
Well, I've got to
Older
say,
lady.
not a difficult day at the office for Midorifuji to take that Yusho. That was an ordinary touchy-eye from Aoyama, ducking the head down, and I wouldn't even say charging forward.
I know, it was a
He
little
wandered
bit
forward.
weird. I cannot handle this new touchy-eye angle from Abema. It's
Oh,
nice
it's
to
no
see
good,
it
is
here,
it?
and
Yeah.
you can see that he went low. The left hand was still in a good position, but yeah, Midorifuji was just good
Well,
timing.
you see, Midorifuji was pretty quick to get a right hand on the front of Aoyama's belt here. You can see it there on the replay. He hasn't quite got it there, but he does have it there. And it just let him take that step forward that forced Aoyama back. Congratulations, Midorifuji. Could not think of a nicer guy for this to happen to. So we take a replay of a couple of very happy...
It's his mum and sister.
It's his mum
Surely.
and sister.
I want it so bad.
Well. Now you see it, Juryo Yusho, Midorifuji. What has he won in his life? I believe.
Has he had another Juryo
Nope.
Yusho?
Yes, he has
Yeah.
back in,
We saw it,
you
right?
talk about this all the time. July 2021.
Yeah.
From Juryo 6, he went 12-3, got the Yusho. Today he does the same score, but from Juryo 2. He's back.
He is back in Makuuchi. And before, I saw people mention, we forgot to say that Tomokaze's 9-6 might mean that he is actually back in Makuuchi. Now, we gave him a real send-off when he left Makuuchi last. We said he'll never be back. That was his one final go, and we may see him. There may be a space for him. So that would be... I don't know if I want that or not for
I
him.
will be doing all sorts of mental gymnastics because what I want to see a Kachikoshi
Yeah, exactly.
in Makuuchi.
Yeah, exactly.
And then I'll sign off.
But I just don't know if it can happen.
Welcome to the chat, Associate Professor Ben Marshman, who is listening but can't type. And he
As
just
he's
typed
typing?
that. Yep.
Hakaku announcing some business.
All right, we've got 3 bouts left to go. Still a lot of interest, and I tell you what, they've stacked the final 2. Third last bout, we have Takakuru and Oshimoumi, who are both Makakoshi. But then we go to Shiden Takarafuji, both on 7-7, and Toki Hayate Shirakuma. Now, Shirakuma has had a couple of days off, but still has 7 wins. So, Toki Hayate on 7-7 as well. What a way to finish Yusho. I know you're very interested both in Toki Hayate and Shirakuma.
Yes.
Who will you be barracking for in this bout?
I really don't know. This one has to be a love of sumo one. This has to be the heart talking. And by that I mean I know who I want to win when I see who wins and how
Yeah,
I feel
exactly.
about it. I don't know if anyone else is like that. I'm often not sure who I would prefer to win until I see it. And I do that with ordering meals as well. I imagine the meal coming if I'm unsure about which one to choose, and the one that I'm happier about thinking about receiving is the right one. So that's how I like my sumo meal served up as well.
Well, so what if... does this play into it? Does the crowd go absolutely wild for their Sanyaku Rikishi?
None of which are in the Yusho race, I have to point out.
You've disgraced us. Nah, love your work.
You're right.
Toki Hayate, Juryo 1, 7-7. There's a lot riding on this for him.
Yep.
Shirakuma, Juryo 5. Not much of a difference if he gets Kachikoshi or Makakoshi in terms of
Well,
his,
I know who you're thinking to win then.
Well, I wonder, is Toki Hayate ready? Is his sumo ready
Yeah.
for Makuuchi?
Yep.
We have seen him pop up occasionally into Makuuchi. This time, yesterday, he lost to Myogiryu and also
Yeah, he had
lost
another
to
one, right?
Takeru Fuji
fair
on
enough.
day 5, which feels awful.
Fair enough.
But he has knocked off some quality opponents in his 7 wins so far, including Takarafuji, Kagayaki, all of these rikishi with Makuuchi experience.
I guess I'm always a bit unsure about going up to Makuuchi on 8-7 if you haven't been there before. If that's the time that you're debuting, but you've only managed to just scrape a Kachikoshi, you know, is it the best thing for you to go up, as you were saying?
Yeah, well, I mean, sometimes it's just, well, I mean, it's like taking a cake out of the oven.
And sticking the spike
Stick in
it?
the skewer.
Skewer.
And I wonder if Toki Hayate might be a little bit raw on the inside.
Are there bits of cake on him or not?
Yeah. Is there a bit of batter when we pull that skewer out of the cake? All right, third last bout, Tohakuryu and Oshimoumi. Oshimoumi at Juryo 11, only in his second basho in Juryo, fighting at his highest rank of Juryo 11. You can see quite heavily taped on the left shoulder and left knee.
Beautiful Shiko, though.
Oh, I know.
He
Nice
gets a leg up high, doesn't he?
Nice and high.
22 years old, so still quite a bit of mobility in those hip joints.
Enjoy it while you've got it, Oshimoumi.
From Naruto Bear. Protect this man.
Tohakuryu. He's a Tokyo native, 27 years old. Has been as high as Maegashira 15 in November last year, but that look did not suit him at all. He went 5-10. And he's back to his comfort zone, which you would say is the higher Juryo ranks. Coming into this one on 5-9 at Juryo 2. After that horror start, 5 losses over the first 5 days. Not a great way for him to start. He lost against some quality opponents though, Mitoriu, Takarafuji, Toki Hayate, Bushozan, and the killer himself, Tomokaze. Well, I mean, a lot going on here on your screen at the moment with Oshimiumi's tape. Feel like they might have wrapped it a bit tight around the...
it's really bulging out of it.
around the bicep there. But you can tell, I mean, this tape... You know, the architecture of this tape, purely designed. And they would have done some CAD kind of mock-ups of this.
Well, I hope they did CAD mock-ups of blood flow because I'm not sure if there's any getting to the fingers here.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. It's a
That's
bit tight.
That's a beautiful font on that sign.
Something very architectural about it, though. Seems to be trying to hold that left arm
He's
on.
He's pushing it down.
Well,
he's aware of the tape. He's been listening to the podcast.
He's got a few flappy bits at the back and he doesn't want us to go hard on him.
No. He's like, I'm aware of it. I'm so sorry. I'm aware of it. The best thing would be if he reached around the back and patted those bits down.
Well, that's actually a hard part of your body. Oh, no, sorry. It's
Can
easy.
you get there?
Yeah, I can
He's
get
doing
there.
it right
yeah,
now.
Actually,
yeah.
I imagined it all wrong.
But the knee as well, the tape sticking up as well. Pat it all down. Get it tight.
Well, you can hear the Osaka crowd have gone into that portion of the afternoon where, well, there's only one way to say it. The hangover's starting to kick in.
Nap time.
Nap time. But I'm sure these final 3 bouts will wake this crowd up after they've found out who their Juryo Yusho is. Look at Tohakuryu taking his time. He loves to muck about. Loves to try to get inside the mind of his opponent, but Oshimoumi having absolutely none of it today.
He's waiting until he can't feel his left-hand fingers anymore.
Yeah. Okay, we've had confirmation. He feels nothing on the left side. Hand down first for Oshimoumi. Tohakuryu off the longer run up here. Still mucking about. Here he comes. Pulls on Oshimoumi, and that's all he really needed to do.
I mean, Tohakuryu, this is what he does. He does it pretty well. And we just gave Tomokaze a huge pass for doing this. However...
I think it was more than a pass. It was absolute high praise.
It was joy, hype. It was yelling. It was pure joy. It was the world is a better place for Tomokaze and his pulling. But here, I don't feel as great about it.
No.
I mean, he did it well. He did it well. He was ready for it. That's what all the mucking about was for, I suppose.
So funny. So similar yet so different, these bouts. Hataki Komi, it's one of those beautiful commentate where it doesn't tell the story.
No, it doesn't.
It
does
never
it?
tells the story.
And you see it so often these days. Sometimes we get a bit reminiscent. Well, not reminiscent because we didn't see it, but we talk about sumo in the 80s. We see sumo in the 80s and 70s where everybody was just going bananas and all out. And I feel like there was a little bit less harakikomi, perhaps, but probably that we're just seeing the best bouts and it was just as much harakikomi as usual.
I do feel this basho has had a lot, especially in the top division, of bouts that have finished off with slap downs, not out of the touchy eye, but as the bout has progressed.
Well, that's okay. If it's gone for a while and then it's a slap down after a while, that's okay. But I get something that where you're aiming for that straight away. It's fine. I mean, it's totally legit. It's just that it's cool to see a variety of sumo.
As we go into the final two bouts, I'd love to know who you think is going to take this Makuuchi Yusho.
Oh, gosh.
Only two very young rikishi have the possibility, and we've done the maths. We can confirm. Even though last night on the podcast I worked out a way for Hoshoryu to win it.
That's right. That was good maths. I like that.
Look, it worked at the time. It was a rounding error.
That was imaginary numbers.
It was, yeah. It was a 1 with an upside down exclamation mark after it. Can Takeufuji do it? This injury is a bit of a mystery. What do you think's going to happen?
Well, he fights so early too. It's the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9th bout of the day. Put it later. You've got to put it later.
I think they need to do away with this.
I don't get it. Like, this is entertainment. This is a sport.
Yeah.
Put it later. I get that Gonoyama is Maegashira 6.
But still, there's Maegashira Rikishi above them with terrible records.
It should come just before Sanyaku.
Sanyaku.
Or the final bout of the day.
Agree. Hard agree. Looks like the Gyoji's going to send them back for a little bit of thinking time. Just gives this Osaka crowd a chance to look up from their phones, see what's about to happen here. Takeufuji on the screen at the moment. The businessman at Juryo 1.
Very important for him.
Very, very important.
So he can go back to Makuuchi here. This is so important. He needs it. We need it for Joy of Sumo.
Well, this is a bout that for him is important, but can affect the fates of the other rikishi around him. Tomikaze is probably not barracking for him today.
Probably.
Or maybe he is. Maybe he doesn't want to go back there.
That's true. Well, it looks like we're about to get going, so I won't go into who's dropping from Makuuchi. But there are a few. There are a few positions opening up, but there's no doubt that Takeufuji would go back if he wins this. He is down early, and his opponent Shiden is no easy beat. Also on 7-7. Takeufuji goes out early. He's being a little bit more attacking than he often is. He's got the left hand in on Shiden's Mawashi. Come on, he can do something with this. Shiden has the left hand in as well, but it's Takeufuji driving forward. He can do it. Shiden pushes himself off the bails, but the second time he can't do it. Takeufuji wins.
Powerful
Takeufuji
sumo.
back to Makuuchi. We love it.
To see it.
Oh, I discovered how much I wanted that.
It feels weird having him in Juryo, let's face it.
Oh, my God.
And a little bit of a puff of the cheeks there as he took Shiden over. This means a lot to the big guy, the businessman, back in business in May in the top division where he belongs. Let's take a look at the replay here. You know, as soon as they stopped, I thought, we're in business. You can see Takeufuji reaching with that left hand, and Shiden must know he's in trouble here. He's got nothing as he's taken back. Good fight on the bails. Really made Takeufuji work for it. But when that left hand is that deep and that far around the back, boy, you're going over the Tahara.
Oh, he had a performance review and he came up gold. He's put in the effort and regained a winning form.
Well, his three sons will be
look him in the eye.
waiting for him to get home tonight and looking their dad in the eye and knowing they're looking in the eyes of a winner.
They might even give him a hug. Is that too much?
Well, let's wait to see how he does in Makuuchi yet before we get ahead of ourselves there. Oh, that's
the wife will
great
give
to
him
see.
a visiting
Great
weekend,
to see.
perhaps.
I think he's still together with his
That's
wife.
dark.
But
I think they're still together.
she runs a very tight ship in terms of sumo performance and the correlation between him seeing his sons and looking them in the eye. All right, we come to the final bout. A battle of hearts for you, no doubt. Toki Hayate up against Shirakuma, the new darling of the sumo world. I was going to say the white panda. What's the white bear that lives in the...
It's called
polar
a polar
bear. Polar bear, thank you very much.
That was like me forgetting all Swedish just because I've been doing Japanese
studying
kanji
Japanese,
all
yeah.
afternoon. Just every single word of a language. Polar bear is the one. He is the representation of that animal on the sumo dojo.
Well, here we go. Toki Hayate, young gun from Tokitsukaze Bear. 7-7, has done the hard work this time. He is at his highest rank. And this guy only knows Kachikoshi in Juryo. He made his debut in Juryo in September 2023. He's gone 8-7. 8-7 in November and then January. That breakout 10-5 performance. And here he is. He's knocking on the door.
He sure is.
Will anyone answer this call?
You have to say that he does deserve, even if it was an 8-7, he really does deserve to give it a shot in Makuuchi. We've seen his stablemate Short Eye start to go lower. Go lower. We need a new Tokitsukaze representative to shine the light, to inspire Short Eye up there in the Makuuchi division.
This is the final bout of Juryo. The Gyoji points the goodbye forward.
Oh my God. I am nervous.
A lot of hype here. This damn angle. I don't like this angle. Toki Hayate under the arms of Shirakuma. Shirakuma trying to twist Toki Hayate around, but Toki Hayate too strong. Shirakuma could not twist this kid off his trajectory. Wow. Kachikoshi for Toki Hayate at Juryo 1. This is great, great news.
And I'm very happy about this. That's what I've discovered. That is Toki Hayate moving up to Makuuchi. He came out, I was a bit worried here because if Shirakuma really clamped down on those arms, Terunofuji style, then Toki Hayate doesn't have too many options. But Shirakuma is no Terunofuji at this stage of his career and let his arms be taken up and was able to be pushed out.
Shirakuma, though, I mean, finishes on 7 wins, 6 losses, and 2 days off that he was off day 9 and 10.
But that's an honorary Kachikoshi.
Honorary
right?
Kachikoshi,
Yes.
More wins than losses. That's what we care about.
And now we move to the Johnny Dan playoff between Ryu and Tochimaru. We're quite familiar with Tochimaru.
Well, if you've listened to this stream before, especially last year, you've seen this boy on your screen at the moment. Tochimaru, the man who forces the resolution down. That's the power of his sumo.
The power of his stare.
Has one style of sumo. He sticks to it. It's a mad flurry of pushes. Let's see how that goes against Ryu today, who at Johnny Dan 6, up against Tochimaru at Johnny Dan 47, was it?
47, yeah.
47.
And these are because older. So Ryu 30 and Tochimaru 31 from Nishono Seki.
Right, so your heart might be there.
And Kasugano, well, I find it hard to not barrack for Tochimaru, I have to admit.
Okay.
I think
Wow,
I'm going to let the sumo go here.
Sure.
The sumo do the talking. They've both been in the sport for a long time. Ryu since 2012, Tochimaru since 2011. Both injury has caused them to fall down into Johnny Dan. They've been pushing some kids around and now they're finally made their way to this playoff.
I really like watching Tochimaru fight.
He just sets himself and then the arms start going.
I hope we get to see it today. It's the kind of sumo that you show kids to get them interested. I mean, you probably want to stop it before the conclusion of the bout because inevitably, well, Tochimaru in the higher ranks of sumo gets sorted out pretty quickly. No fanfare.
No, they're just straight into it. Tochimaru down second. He's been in Juryo. He knows what to do. Gives the hips a wiggle. Ryu, they come out with the arms.
Here we go.
Of course.
Here we go.
Tochimaru activates. He's not able to push his opponent back, which is often the problem with his sumo. Ryu just waits, and eventually Tochimaru finds that opening. He really has one way of doing it. And maybe lower rank opponents find it harder to combat.
Much like rivers over the millennia carve canyons, does Tochimaru wear down his opponents ever so gradually. His TPM there, thrust per minute, somewhere up around 80, 85, I think I'd estimate. We'd probably have to slow this down and count it. But look, it's very hard to get near this guy when you're just seeing a blur of hands. So many soft slaps.
And a lot just straight on the neck.
And you can just see Ryu there almost collapse with exhaustion.
Yeah, it goes on no matter what you do.
Yeah, exactly.
You can try and push away his arms, but they're straight back. Look,
Whoa.
He's pushed away his arms 5, 6, 7, 8 times. The arms half the time they're in the air, but they still keep coming back.
Tochimaru, congratulations.
You have
Johnny
nightmares
Dan,
about that.
You show, yeah.
I'm going to have nightmares about that tonight.
Yeah.
Stop hitting me. So here we see all the Yusho winners for Jonakuchi. We have Chiyoga from Kokonoebeya, Johnny Dan Tochimaru from Kasugano, Sandanme Nagamura from Kisebeya, and Makushita
And the
Kazukeno,
The king stepping up to
Oshiyogawa,
get his.
and Mitori for Juryo.
While they're getting their awards, the official awards, we should talk about our Sumo Mainichi
we totally
special
forgot about
Juryo
it.
awards. The Champion of Tomorrow award we gave to Asakoryu.
Yes, for fairly obvious first week reasons, I'll call them.
Yes, first week reasons. Yeah, we locked these in on day 6, so
Yep.
didn't want to back down on that one,
No,
did we?
no. We were like, he's a genius, and then just went, probably have to give it to him anyway.
We do have an award called Rising from the Swamp, which is given to a lower ranked Rikishi and Juryo doing well. But I got to say, we are not going to be giving that award out this time because it was absolute carnage down there.
We refuse. No Rising from the Swamp award this time around. Do better next time.
The Don't Let the Sun Go Down on Me award for older Rikishis doing well. We had an if win here
Yep.
for Takarafuji.
That was a bit rude of us, wasn't it? For
No.
Takarafuji, the man who's put in so much effort over so many years, and we gave him an if win.
Well, I don't think we can technically, I'll have to check the rule book. I don't think we can give this for a 7 and 8.
No, that's true.
And finally, the Sumo Mainichi Encouragement Award, an award that we just give out to a kid who might need a little slap on the back going, hey, it's going to get better. We're giving it to Hakuoho this time.
Yep. I think for fairly obvious reasons. Hakuoho, it's okay. You're going to be all right. And I just off the cuff, I'm going to extend that to Ten-shoho as well. He's not in Juryo.
So hang on.
What's happening here?
They've got a kanji that just says brother. Was that right? Are there any other kanji readers in the house?
So who was that for?
That was
Tochimaru?
No, it was for
Nabatame. Oh, no, sorry.
Naga something.
What's his name? I'm scrolling down.
Oh, I just can't remember what I read there.
Nagamura.
Thank you.
Tried to give Nabatame an award. I want to, but he didn't get it. It was Nagamura from Kisebeya. He's 19 years old. He only started in March 2023, and he blew through Sandanme.
Yeah, beautiful stuff.
This is Chiyoga from Osaka. I would have loved more clapping for someone from Osaka.
Absolutely.
There's a guy who holds all the certificates.
Look
Good
at
job.
that. Just 1 in each finger.
Don't crumple them.
No, he's done that before. He knows what he's doing.
Given
All right,
out, yes, by Kodonowaka's father.
Yeah.
Yes, Kodonowaka.
The boys looking a bit unsure about what they do here. Do they get up and go, or do they...
Well, it
Okay,
might
what
be
do we
time
have
for,
here? Yeah.
for us to go. Get
Might
ready
be.
for Makuuchi.
As Mitoriu steps up to get
They do
another
the second
award.
round.
Oh, this is from the brown coats, the Osaka Massive, who have their own award for nicest moustache. I believe they're giving that out for this time.
He
Mitoriu.
is such a manly man. He cannot stop growing hair. Midoriya.
Yeah, I mean, I think he shaved this morning.
He shaved at 11 a.m.
I reckon, I know Ben Marshman is in the chat.
Can't type.
Ben, I reckon we could whip up some of those brown coats. Pretty cheap. Sell them online.
Get in
and
the front row.
Get in the front row.
We don't want to, though, because you can't drink, you can't cheer for a specific rikishi, you can't eat.
Well, they're the three things that I go to the sumo
Exactly. We don't want to be in the front 3 rows there with them. We just need to be a tiny bit back.
for. And here is the next award from the brown coats, and they're giving this for... just let me check while I look up. Straightest Sagari. Okay,
Oh,
interesting.
nice.
Interesting.
That's nice. He's ironed them, I hear.
Yeah, well, I know, and like not many rikishi take the time to do that.
Yeah.
They think, well, they're floppy, gravity will take care of it.
Yeah, people make fun of him for it, but he stands
No,
by
no.
it, and he's finally been recognised for it.
And so for Nakamura, let me listen. And so they've given that for most likely to have good sideburns in the future. Yeah, interesting. Oh, a very deserving winner there. And I don't need to hear this. They're giving this for thrust per minute over the basho. Let me listen. Yeah, he averaged more than 70 over the 15 days. And noting that he only fought 7 of them.
Yes.
But they knew he was doing it while they weren't
Well,
watching.
they were on their calculators, tap, 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 tap,
Exactly. All right, more awards.
tap. I'm just looking at
There's something very special about Osaka. And this one was given to most. Sorry, how do you say it in English? I'm struggling for the word. I want to say prompt, but it was he turned up every day on time.
Lovely.
What's the right word for that? I know
Timely arrival?
Timely arrival. I think there's another word for it, but thank you. That's an accurate translation of the Japanese there. As we see a little bit of sweeping before we get to the Makuuchi Doyo Iri, we might leave it there for today. Thank you so much for joining us. We love hanging out. Juryo, it's a special time. Enjoy the sumo tonight. There's no doubt it is going to be an absolute cracker of a final day.
Well, I'm curious to see, are we going to see Midorifuji come out? We have to see him come out on the
stay
other
on?
side. Yeah, here
Let's
he
stay
comes. He
Not
is doing-
limping!
he's doing everything he can. There is no one in this stadium right now who is not looking at his foot.
Heavily strapped right
I'm looking at
foot.
it. Are you looking at it?
The horse tranquilizers coursing through his veins. Let's watch him step up and the Abema camera.
They're looking at
Look
it.
at that. Looks good. Looks good.
Would you step onto the
solid.
step with the sore foot? Or would you go,
you have to.
what, for, to show everyone that you can?
That's a powerful statement. I mean, Gon Aoyama would have been watching that.
Yeah.
Quaking.
Is Gon
in his
Aoyama on the
boots.
same? Oh, no, of course he's on the other side because he's his opponent. He's in the line. He's trying to peer past the other rikishi. He's pushing past, saying, I need to see Midorifuji and which foot he steps up onto the doyo first with. Better not kick him in that foot.
I don't think he'll do that, will he?
There's mixed reactions to Gon Aoyama. Well, we've been fans, but I've seen that a lot of people aren't. I'm not sure why. We'll see how he goes out against his opponent today. He certainly always gives it everything.
It's so strange. Gon Aoyama is an Osaka boy.
Yeah.
But you just don't feel he's got the crowd support.
I mean, there is Ura. Ura exists, right? So he
Yeah.
kind of trumps everyone else, Osaka, but yeah, it's interesting that he doesn't have the same support. Let's listen to,
Buzan. Hang on. No tape.
let's listen to Onosato. Oh, they're into it.
Don't hype the boy too much. I'm just interested in what's holding Kim Bozan's head up at this point.
I just want to point out again the difference between Onosato and Midorifuji. Midorifuji, steely glaze. I mean, he's probably in immense amounts of pain, to be honest, but always steely, always looking at a fixed point in the middle distance. carries himself so slowly and carefully. Onosato just like, there's somebody in the crowd. Oh, what's that over there?
Asaniyama steps up onto the doyo, probably the last time that he'll be doing that as a Magashira Rikishi. Crowd favourite, Ura steps up. Abi loved the burning tiger motif there. Very, very representative of his sumo. Daishoho, tumultuous seas on his Keshomawashi.
Yes.
Interesting. And Kirishima, they've absolutely phoned in the design. The Daiwa team there.
It's his head separating from his body as he goes Kataban.
Well, really? Oh, and there's that shot.
Oh, what's he going to... Oh, he's going
Powerful,
up and down with the leg.
He's looking good.
Do you know what? I think he has a red-hot chance to win.
Absolutely.
He's just going to go for it. And he knows he only has to do one. Oh,
what?
I'd be surprised if he didn't win.
What's in this for Gonoyama?
Just Gonoyama things, I think.
He's 10-4. I mean, at Maegashira 6, Gonoyama has done the work.
He's not someone to back off.
No, that's
way.
absolutely right. And I think that's one of the reasons that he will be a good opponent for him, as in Midorifuji today.
We need to analyse Gonoyama's face here. That's what they should zoom in on. I'm sure they will.
Well, here comes the other side, led by Nishiki Fuji.
Graham, you think Midorifuji was stepping gingerly on the foot? I mean,
Yeah.
I think so too. I'm just trying to play
here's
it
the
up
thing.
for him.
You want to ramp up the horse tranquilizers. You don't want to go hard for the doyoiri. You want a little bit just to take the edge off, and then you pump it between now and the 9th bout of the day. Chiyosakaya, he was robbed. Ryuden, a.k.a. the Dude, impressionistic mountain on his Keshomawashi. Shimanoumi, though, the wave has crashed for him. 9-5 coming into this final day.
Sadanoumi, champion. He's coming into today 7-7. Good luck, mate.
Who does he have today?
He has...
Where is he? Midorifuji.
Also on 7-7.
Great bit of programming. Here's double digits man himself, Takeyasu, stepping up the wind in his sails.
And he has Daiamami 7-7. Can he get one more?
Well, Onosho, the man, 8-6 coming into this final day.
Tamawashi, who destroyed Kid Nowaka with angry sumo the other day.
Well, here he is, the man of the moment.
They've done it.
The only thing standing between Midorifuji and the Yusho. A couple of Gonoyama fans in, mum and daughter. Nice to share family times, barracking for Gonoyama. Well, with an absolute... I mean, I don't know what that is. That looks like the sake spill that happened near the power board earlier.
We're lucky we've stayed on
I know.
I have to say. I spilled beer on my computer the other day and sake on the power board today, so...
It's just one of those bashos.
It's really going for it. Some of the lights on my keyboard don't shine anymore, but I'm still typing.
Nishikigi, what a basho he's had. Knocking over Terunofuji, and I can't remember what else has happened, but that's got to be a good start for him. Wakamoto Haru, he'll stay at Sekiwake. Wow, Kodonawaka.
Good work.
Great work. And finally, the man who can mathematically still win the Yusho, I believe. Sumo genius, Hoshoryu.
It was only himself who took himself out of the race. He's looking up at the heavens saying, why aren't I competing for this Yusho today? But he is not. He is not. The master said he's not. It's Onosato up against Midorifuji for this Yusho. Not literally. Midorifuji first against Gonoyama. If he wins with this foot, it is his Yusho. We will see. Thank you, everyone, for being with us for Juryo. We'll see you tonight for the podcast, and see you later.
Bye-bye.